Glad you're here. I want to show you something.
Sure.
In 2002, there was a huge atmospheric river that came from Hawaii. It was called the Pineapple Express in November. And it rained and rained and rained and rained, and that canyon up there just flooded. That one up there, and the water came down through here. It leveled this gully out. There was mud all over this field. The water went all the way over to Sharon's cabin. That's the little cabin where Levi was a baby in right there. And anyway, it was a flipping mess. So I got in here and got it all fixed up, but it was a disaster. And so I ended up building a bridge for Sharon. We called up a recycler guy, and he had some old steel, and we found pilings and pipes. And the bottom of this thing is made out of an old truck frame. Actually, the bottom of it is made out of an old a truck scale for weighing trucks. So it's really super strong. So come with me, I want to show it to you quickly. It was a heck of a project. We had to reach out here, drive these pilings. You couldn't get to this side. You had to get to that side. And we had to work our way across here and put part of a bridge down and put more pilings on, and put this bridge down, put more pilings down from being on the bridge. And then we finally got across it without it being welded down. And then we could kind of fix it.
I'm not quite sure I understand that.
So, well, we got 3 pilings on that side. It's kind of in the bank. And then we could reach out and put 2 pilings in. Then we temporarily put this bridge out on those 2 pilings. And the guy went out on them pilings, out on that bridge, unwelded. And we put the next 2 pilings, could reach the next 2. And then he'd back off, and we put the bridge a little farther out. And we could get across the bridge. So we kind of built the bridge and crossed the bridge to finish the bridge. So let's walk down here quickly. It used to just be a big 3-foot culvert, but it just plugged up with bushes and trees and stuff. So, yep, here we go. How about this? Actually, it's really, really impressive. That's the old truck scale there, where trucks drive out on them to weigh them, see how heavy they are, you see? And then those 3 pilings are sitting on some big round things. And those 3 are the abutments. When we drove these pilings in, they're about 10, 12 feet into the ground below the creek. And then we had some of this old steel here, and we just made it so the creek could go here. And wow. What a job, don't you think? I mean, good heavens. And God, I did some nice work. Huh. Yeah. This is some old piling. Look, there's a little hole happening here. Might have to get patched. Probably ought to come. That's gonna last till I'm done. Anyway, how cool is that?
So what was, other than you needing it as a way to get across, how were you getting to that cabin before this bridge? Or was there a road that got washed out?
Oh, well, originally there was a gully here, and I put a 3-foot culvert in, and we put dirt on it, and it was just a culvert. But when these big, what they call gully washers, when a big flood happens and all the mud sloops down and you got a big mudslide coming down the hill, the culvert just plugs up. And then the water just goes over the top of the road and washes it all out. And just like all the flooding that's happened all around the country these days, it's just horrific. So, you know, that's what you get. Well, I called an old guy. Gosh, I wish I remember his name. And he knew where there's some pipe, and he knew where there was an old part of an old dock out of Seward. So he gathered all these parts up, and he arrived in Homer with a whole semi-load of all of this stuff. And he said, you can probably make this work. And we did. And we had enough piling left to make the rail and a handrail up top there. And we're going to put 2 guardrails up, handrails up top, but then we couldn't get the hay equipment across. So in order to get the hay equipment across, we left the one handrail off the other side so the equipment could hang off, because the bridge is 12 feet wide minus the bull rails, the curbs really. And so it's good. It's good for trucks. There was a question at one point about whether it was strong enough to hold a propane truck to come in and fill the propane up, and we laughed about it. And the guy was pretty paranoid, and I said, well, a gravel truck just drove over it recently. You know, how heavy is your propane truck? And he goes, oh, it's 35,000 pounds. And I said, well, a gravel truck just drove over it last week, and it was 75,000 pounds. And he didn't believe me, so we self-certified it. We hired another gravel truck to come out, and we took photos of the gravel truck being on it. And then we also took photos of the bridge, and we put a string on the bridge and made sure there wasn't any sag, and kind of retro-engineered the bridge. It's stupid, you know. The thing is, when he built this bridge, the excavator weighed 50,000 pounds alone, sitting on just those 2 pilings with no decking on it. Well, the decking, but it wasn't welded down. So 50,000 pounds set on an unfinished bridge, those 2 pilings. In fact, actually, when I think about it, the excavator crossed before the pilings were in, and it just crossed on the main beams up there. See, those main beams are high tensile beams. They are made to weigh trucks, and they span the whole distance. So those beams are made to to carry a 100,000 pound truck. These beams, supported on either end, are built to hold up a 100,000 pound truck, unsupported in the middle. That's on a 40-foot span. We got 12-foot span. This bridge will hold up. This bridge will probably hold 300,000 pounds. So anyway, it's just, I think it's, you know what? I look at it today and I go, wow, I did that. That was 22 years ago. I was a young kid then. But what's really fun is to not only look back at the things I've accomplished and done in my life, but the fun part is sharing them with other people, and sharing with you and my friends. And I'm going, wow, what a cool thing. Let's go do some more. Let's get out of here. Let's go load this hay and keep moving. Any questions?
Was Sharon your ex-wife at this point?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, she asked me if I'd build her a bridge. Hey, better building bridges than building canyons, don't you think? I'm just going to drop in here real quick and pick up these last 5 bales out of Sharon's field and throw them on the truck. Woo! The winds are blowing! The winds are blowing! Woo-hoo! Let's get this done. Like most jobs, about the time you get done with them, you're getting good at it. Sure is nice being able to pick up 2 bales at a time. And as you maybe kind of see, I've built myself a triple spear bale picker for the back of this tractor. I don't know if there's a factory built one, but there sure as heck is an Otto built one. It picks up 3. This tractor's strong enough to do it. So when I'm hauling hay out of a field, I can pick up 5 bales at a time. Just about pretty nice. Ease back out of there. I like to say, wonder what my daddy would think. But I gotta say, it beats the hell out of a pitchfork and a scythe. But when I analyze the whole thing, I don't know if I have more free time. Got the equipment doing the work, but now I spend all my time fixing equipment instead of visiting my friends and playing the guitar.
It certainly feels like these bales are overhanging quite a bit, but once we put an additional fifth bale right on the top here, that bale will kind of cinch these ones in place.
And this fifth one sits right there, and it helps hold the other four on. Snippity snoop, just like that. Park this tractor down here. We'll come get it later.